Another episode of Hoffman Versus. I'll be joined by a special friend of mine who will help me talk about our new subject, which is going to be about popular movies of nowadays and have been used all over as memes. So please enjoy, and here we are with the show. So here we are with my special friend Shannon McGuire, and we'll be talking about the movie Frozen and the Avengers, who are seem to be having a new movie coming out soon. Yes, it's all great and all that. So, Shannon, why don't you first start off and tell us why you like the Avengers?
In the third act, there is a lot of humor, especially on Robert Downey Jr.'s part. That he's awesome, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. He does an excellent role as Iron Man. But you must admit that the movie seemed to keep on repeating and they keep on adding on to the storylines, which I do enjoy, but they don't seem to have one track storyline.
Personally, I don't know what's going on because I do not read the comics or know most of the backstory of any particular character. It's not fully explained in the movie, so I feel like you have to have a lot of background information to know stuff like that.
I agree with some of the more lesser-known heroes, like of the Guardian of the Galaxy series, but Hawkeye, he's basically the Green Arrow of the Justice League. He's basically Robin Hood.
Yeah, I mean, I saw an SNL skit that was like, how many aliens did you even kill? 11?
Mm-hmm.
Or how many arrows do you have? 11, you're welcome.
Yeah, so besides that, besides the humor and the action, can you describe some of the things that you liked about it? Like, what was your favorite character? What really attracted you to this film?
Iron Man is most likely my favorite character because of, again, humor and wit and almost kind of a change of heart, because initially he is not that interested in the project, but then he's pretty much leading it. He's helping Captain America lead it, because I know that people are like, oh, he's the leader, he's always the leader, and I'm like, fine, I don't really care.
Well, going on that route, I think the next couple of movies that Marvel is planning is actually going to involve the difference between Captain America and Iron Man as who's going to be the leader of the newest superhero teams.
I did read stuff like that.
Yeah,
Captain America, because I know he was frozen, is going to be more dated than Iron Man, so you have like the futuristic Tony Stark and the primitive, well, not primitive, but less modern Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Those differences clashing. That's what I'm seeing from it.
Yeah, I agree. And there's always that problem between what is a real necessity with Captain America, because even Marvel has decided to get rid of Steve Rogers as Captain America and have replaced him with the newer version of Captain America. Plus also Thor, too.
Yeah, he's a girl now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard, like, the actor, Robert Downey Jr., he is, I think he said he was done, but then stuff I read after that kind of contradicted that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he has no confirmed sources that Robert Downey Jr. has put down the metal helmet of Iron Man, but who knows? Because we're not Robert Downey Jr. himself, so who knows?
Maybe I'm Robert Downey Jr.
No, you're Shannon McGuire.
You know what?
What?
That might be true in some aspects.
Okay, so since we have discussed that movie, and besides the action and what you somewhat need to know, oh, by the way, Spoilers! If you're watching this and you haven't gotten the idea that, hey, things may be spoiled, what are you thinking?
Yeah, if you haven't seen these movies by now that are constantly being referenced over and over, then I feel sorry for your soul.
Yeah, and they're being memed by so many people. I mean, that whole thing with Hulk and hitting Loki and everything like that.
Puny God, puny God.
Yes.
Puny God all the way.
But it's somewhat crazy of how the actor who plays Loki seems to be, crazed over by so many more than Thor.
Yeah, I'm sure that this is not the first time that this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, except for maybe Strong Bad and Homestar Runner.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, it's kind of like a tie.
Agreed. So, how about we move on to our second film, Frozen. Some of the reason why I like this movie is because of the animation, the music, and the storyline with the character, and along with the characters.
That plot twist, though.
Yes. We won't go on to spoil any really big parts of it, but we'll try and keep it low.
Yeah, for a Disney movie to go and do what they did, that is new. If you think you've seen every Disney movie that you have seen, you will drop your popcorn, you will drop your baby, you will drop everything because of this one moment in the movie.
Yeah, and I somewhat like how they're somewhat taking from the innocent princess that needs to be rescued and trying to go into a more feminist way of thinking, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, the person who's isolating Elsa is Elsa herself, so I mean, there is almost no clear villain in this movie. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I agree, and I somewhat like that, how these characters seem to each have their own journey that they're trying to go through, and they all connect in one interesting way that all relates to this one big storyline. It's somewhat like watching Sin City, in a way, but without all the graphic violence.
I don't think it was that interconnected. I think it was just one story, really.
Well, we have the story of Elsa, the princess who seems to have lost control of her powers and trying to escape and gain freedom. But we also have the story of Anna and Kristoff trying to go get to her sister and trying to also help and fix. But
I think I know what you're talking about. How Elsa was somewhere else, where Anna was somewhere else as well, like from each other.
Yeah, along with Hans, who we see somewhat grow into a more interesting and opposite person than we once thought when we first met him. Okay.
I thought he was weird at first. I'm like, alright. This guy is goofy as all heck. He's not like a one-note chivalrous person. I don't expect him to like slay a dragon or anything. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He was a little bit weird, and I somewhat wondered the reason why he was first introduced when I first saw Frozen, because he doesn't seem to have a real role until a little bit later on in the film, and showing that he was somewhat the catalyst event that starts this whole story.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say what I thought it could have been, but I feel like that in itself is a spoiler, because it's not that. It's not that what I predicted it would be, and I don't know if someone else would think it, so...
Well, out of all the characters, my favorite is Elsa, because, well, overall, she's a great character, and just the idea of this character being a real person seems so interesting to me. What about you? What was your favorite character?
I think Anna is my favorite character because she is very relatable to me. She initially was isolated. You see the two sisters growing up, and Elsa can't leave her room, and Anna, she can go out and like bring friends in because she can leave. Elsa can't, but she just stays.
Yeah.
And she goes through all that snow stuff. Like she could have left Elsa on her own up to the point where she found out that all of what's the setting again? I'm sorry.
It is Arendelle. That's the
the Southern Isles. They like all of that gets frozen. So like she wasn't doing it for the Southern Isles or Arendelle or whatever it's called. She was doing it for herself or for her sister and herself. So I thought that was very noble of her. Like there aren't any armies going after her. It's just her.
I agree, and I also liked how this movie somewhat inspired parodies, like of how it should end, and all the parodies of the songs, like "Let It Go."
You mean the only parody? It feels like it. But are there others? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, there are some, but they're not as well known as the "Let It Go" parodies.
Oh God. People have heard this on the radio and never saw the movie, and they don't know why it's so popular, and then they'll see it and they'll be all fangirling over it.
Well,
you know what we forgot?
What?
Olaf.
Oh yeah, Olaf.
Yeah, the other thing everyone's fangirling about.
Yes, I have to agree, and it somewhat sickens me that such a all-considered minor character is growing way too big for his britches, so to say.
I think it's in design and delivery, really. Because you see this as a kid's film, and when you're seeing a kid's film, you pretty much just want to be a kid yourself, so I can see why that target audience would be distracted by Olaf. But at the same time, the story teaches a lesson, like it's doing everything it's supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree, and it's enjoyable, but there's also that thing of why is this character such a big thing when he played all considered to be a really smaller role. He was mostly the guide in the hero's journey that Anna plays.
I think he inspires Anna to keep going during not the climactic scene, but before that, after the plot twist of
something that we won't mention because that will spoil the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so is there anything else that you want to talk about either movie?
I think the backgrounds for both movies were great. Frozen animated very well.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
It's amazing. I think the CGI, I think it's called.
Yes, the animation of it, I agree, was so great. Though it just blew my mind of how long it must have taken that these people who are animating this film, it's amazing to me. But there also is some great animation in the Avengers movies, you must admit, too.
Oh yeah, action definitely, but it's pushed towards mostly the end. Like it's like a lot of arguing and then action, which is pretty standard.
Yeah,
there were some action scenes like in the forest. And, it's been a while since I've seen both of these. I should probably have said that first.
Yes, it might have also been a good idea if we refresh each other's memories by seeing these two movies again. But overall, how would you rank each movie, and which one would you think is better?
I would consider both of them a 10 out of 10. That's why this is hard. I want to say Avengers is better because, for one thing, I don't want to hear Let It Go ever again. I'm not the first person who's singing this song.
And I highly doubt you would be the last. With me, I would give Avengers a 8 out of 10 because, while you enjoyed the whole complaints and everything, I thought, just a little bit more action would have been nice. And Frozen, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, minus 1 point because of how much Let It Go. The main theme song for Frozen seems to be too popular. So
I thought you were gonna lower it because of Olaf making the movie popular.
Nah, I somewhat like Olaf, even though I somewhat hate him also. So it's a somewhat love-hate relationship.
Oh, so you're going out with Olaf now?
No, you dingus.
All the fan art go. Shipping everywhere.
Please don't. So, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Hoffman Versus. Maybe next time we'll be able to include Shannon's face.
Yeah, I have a face!
But I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any fan art, please send it to awesomelaserdude@gmail.com or dragonhoffman@gmail.com. So
be sure to make it shipping art.
Please don't. Well, besides that, I think we should end this on a good note. And remember, any fan art or anything would be good. Oh yeah, Shannon, what topic should we talk about next week on Hoffman Versus?
I didn't prepare this far. Yay!
Okay, how about we use something special? Maybe next time we'll use a dartboard and label it and see what we get. But I think next time we should talk about, how about our favorite foods from our Thanksgiving, since it's getting close to that time?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, well, bye now. Hope you enjoyed.
Bye.
Enjoyed this show because we worked really hard on it, and please leave a like or a review, anything really, please do it, I'm begging you here. Okay, well, again, adios, please remember, leave that review because who knows, it may be next on Hoffman Versus. Bye!